I returned to our hotel room at Mantrini. Looking out to the patio, I felt like I was in a fishbowl. Could the people walking by tell that my marriage was broken? I felt nauseous. I could not stop crying or shaking. Was this the end? Could I forgive him again? Should I? In my hand, I held the shell from my necklace. After Fred had stormed off, I managed to find it in the street. The clasp on the gold chain was broken, but I was glad that it was broken rather than my neck. I wasn't sure if I would ever fix it or wear it again. I took off my wedding ring and just kept staring at it. I knew I couldn't bring myself to put it back on. I closed the shades and opened my computer to Skype with a friend. Carl was one of my best friends from college. I'd known him since my very first day at the University of Pennsylvania. When he answered in Los Gatos, California, I was crying hysterically. Take a deep breath. Are you okay? Are you safe? I told him I was in my hotel room in Chiang Rai, alone. He asked me what happened. Oh God, Carl, he just went nuts. He pushed me onto the ground. He came up behind me, and all of a sudden, I was on the sidewalk, and all I could see was the sky. He was shouting at me. People were staring. I can't believe this is happening. Carl had met Fred multiple times and been an honored guest at our wedding. He had always known my boyfriends and protected me like a big brother. No one knew how bad things were between Fred and I, maybe even me. Even so, Carl could hear that I was upset and quickly understood things must be terrible if I was calling him all the way from Asia crying. Over the years, even when we had lived in different countries, Japan for him, Israel for me, we had always talked long distance, but usually to trade good news. Lisa, he said firmly, there must be consequences. Consequences? In that moment, I didn't understand what those consequences should be, mostly because I still felt that on some level, I must be responsible for the situation. I had wanted to come to Asia to get back on the road because Fred was so unhappy in Los Angeles. I thought that if we were traveling, things would be better. But even halfway around the world, he was still unhappy. With no job or issues with the condo to complain about, he continued to whine, but now more and more frequently about me. Fred had always had gripes. My hair was turning gray or not perfectly straight, and once I had allowed a bottle of wine to fall out of his car when I opened the door. He called it alcohol abuse. I hadn't realized that his unhappiness was the pattern.